Hello everyone, back to today's second video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next week to 10 days for today's second video. It's going to take us into just about into the second week of March. So big changes are on the way. Record-breaking weather at the moment. We broke records at Trascoed in Wales yesterday. we have broken records again today, so more on that very shortly. But if you like your February and winter weather warm and dry, you like to be able to get your barbecue out and mow the grass in February, I'll make the most of today, because after today the temperatures are sliding. It'll still be warm tomorrow. You probably won't notice much of a drop in the temperature tomorrow, but we probably do shave off a degree or two tomorrow. But from Thursday, Friday, temperatures will start to return much closer to average, and it'll begin to get more unsettled as well, and that will take us into the early part of March on a much more unsettled and cooler note as well. So this remarkable record-breaking spell of February weather is winding down, but it's gloriously sunny out there this afternoon, and as I say, more records have fallen, and we'll start the video discussing that very shortly. First thing we're going to do is say a big thank you to our latest donor. So we have had a new donation for Gaz Others. This donor would like to stay anonymous, which is absolutely fine. Just want to say a big thank you to the anonymous donor. Big thank you to Anonymous for your donation. You know who you are, and a huge thank you for the donation to Gaz Others. If you would like to become a donor for Gaz Others, then all you need to do is come to the Gaz Others PayPal page, sign into your PayPal account. You can send whatever amount of money as a one-off donation you would like through to Gaz Others. You'll get a mention in the videos as long as you want to, and if you would rather stay anonymous, as today's donor has done, then just leave a little note with your donation, and we'll just again say thank you to Anonymous for their donation. Of course, you might want a plug for your website or for your business. We're happy to go to your website and show people your business. So again, just let us know with your donation how you'd like the mention to be given, and we are perfectly happy to do that. Big thank you to all of the donors for Gaz Others. Special thank you to Anonymous for their donation. Of course, there is also Patreon, so if you would like to become a patron for Gaz Others, it's kind of like an ongoing monthly donation, but you can cancel at any time. You just come to the Gaz Others Patreon account, you sign up, come to the Gaz Others Patreon page, you sign up for a Patreon account, and then you can give an ongoing donation to Gaz Others. It can be anything from $1 a month upwards, and by doing that you become a patron for Gaz Others. We'll give you a mention again in the video. So a big thank you to all of the donors, big thank you to all of the patrons, special thank you to Anonymous, and yeah, you're helping us to pay for the website, you're helping us to keep content online, so big thank you to all of you for doing that. Right, so this is it then. This is the tweet put out by the UK Met Office around half an hour or so ago, and they are saying that for the second day running, we've broken the UK record for the warmest winter day, which would also be the warmest February day, on record, with 20.8 degrees Celsius at Porthmadog in Gwynedd. So Porthmadog takes the prize for the warmest maximum temperature on record for the UK in February, and also in the winter as well. Now, yesterday, of course, we got a temperature record. I think it was 20.6. It was only 0.2 above, but we got a temperature record yesterday at Trascoed, also in Wales. So Wales really taking the plaudits this week. So Trascoed had the record yesterday, and Porthmadog has taken that away from Trascoed today, and now has that temperature of 20.8, which you would round up, of course, to 21 degrees, and 21 degrees is 70 Fahrenheit. So remarkable warmth over the past couple of days. I did highlight this around a week ago, but it looked like we're going to get a reload of the warmth on Monday and Tuesday this week. I said that around a week ago, so that prediction has come off. And I did think that if the records were going to fall, it would be early this week. when it happened. By the way, thank you to all of you for your suggestions of how to pronounce Trascoid. I think I've got the pronunciation correct. Big thank you to Lilac Floyd, who left a link to a video where that place is actually mentioned in the video. So I had a listen to that, and I think Trascoid is how you should pronounce it. I probably got it a little bit wrong, but I think that's fairly close, and hopefully Porthmadog is pronounced as it's spelt. So there we go. Porthmadog takes the all-time maximum temperature for February and for the winter away from Trascoid, and it's 20.8. Of course, that might go in the next hour. I'm recording the video at 3:07. I don't think up to this point anywhere else has recorded higher than 20.8, but occasionally it can take an hour or two for the data to come through to the UK Met. So it's possible that in the next hour or so a tweet might appear saying that that 20.8 has been beaten. If that happens, obviously we'll discuss it in tomorrow's video. This is how temperature observations are currently looking from xcweather.co.uk. So another warm, very warm afternoon out there, UK bathed in those yellow and orange colours. Remarkable when you think that this chart this time last year would have been showing blues, freezing cold. This is where we're flashing away for the maximum temperatures at the moment. So it looks like 20 degrees has been achieved, or is achieved at the moment in 3 locations. So we've got Trascoy flashing away there. I don't think Porthmadog is all that far away from Trascoy, so I would assume it's all within the same sort of area, really. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong about that, but I think roughly we're talking about West Wales here for these records that are going both yesterday and today. So Trascoy is flash away at 20 degrees, and also where else was we? So somewhere else is flash away. There we go. Real also on 20 degrees, and then we did have one more place that flashed away, and that looks like going to be Northolt, I think, either London Heathrow or I think it's Northolt. So again, we've got 3 locations: Trascoid, Real and Northolt, all at 20 degrees right now. It's possible that another one of these stations could go up another degree and get to 21.0 or 21.1 in the next few minutes. So we'll keep a close eye on the UK Met Twitter feed. But obviously, very, very warm afternoon out there. Other locations, Church North in the Midlands is up to 18 degrees. Nottingham is up to 18 degrees. Lakenheath at 18 degrees. Let's try somewhere else. Headcorn Aerodrome is at 18 degrees. By the way, also, big thank you to all the people that told me that Gravesend is gone. Gravesend weather station is no more. That used to be one of the regular places that seemed to take temperature records, but apparently the Gravesend weather station was closed down in August last year. That is something that completely passed by. I must have missed the memo from the UK Met about that one. So no more temperature records from Gravesend, apparently. Doncaster, going further north, is at 17 degrees. Teesside is at 16, carrying on further north still. So we go up to Catterhall, and we're up to 15 degrees into Scotland. Strathmallan at 14. Temperatures have lowered a little bit across Scotland. A few days ago, back at the end of last week, it was Scotland that was getting the really high temperature. So these warm temperatures have shifted southwards over the past few days. Scotland is now not as warm. It is still very, very mild for February up across Scotland, but it's not as warm as it was a few days ago. This is perhaps a sign of things to come. Belfast is at 14 degrees over in Northern Ireland. It's perhaps already a sign in the far north of the country. Temperatures are just beginning to lower slightly, and that will be the trend, as I say, over the next few days. Central England temperature continues its inexorable rise upwards. So this is where we are right now with the CET. We're on 6.7. An anomaly now of 3 degrees above average. You've gone 3 degrees above average for February. That's provisional up to yesterday, the 25th. That's going to go up further. And I think 7.0 is still achievable, although looking at the data, maybe we fall just a little bit short of 7.0 actually, because we often get a downwards correction with this. So we're at 6.7 now. The next couple of days will probably get us very close to 7.0. But then I think we may get a downwards correction. That often happens when you have a cold start to a month. And this February did actually start very cold. We had the coldest first day of February. It's hard to remember it now, but the first day of February was the coldest 1st of February since 2009, the coldest first day of February for 10 years. And so when that happens, when you have it cold at the beginning of the month, often there is quite a large downwards correction. So just thinking this through a little bit, it may be that we're actually going to fall just short of 7 degrees. We might finish up somewhere around, say, 6.6, 6.7. We'll have to wait and see how much of a downwards correction we get. But I'm just a little bit more uncertain now whether we're going to finish up at 7 for this central England temperature. It will be interesting to see where we do end up in the end. This hour CET looks in terms of the maximum temperatures at the moment for central, so a remarkably warm maximum temperature. We're sitting at 10.6 for the maximum, average maximum for this February. That's over 4 degrees above average, provisional up to yesterday, but 26. But the minimums are just pulling things down a little bit. The minimums are still above average at 2.8, but that's only an anomaly of 1.9 degrees above average. Again, that's provisional up to this morning, up to the 26th of February. So it's the minimums that are just keeping us back from having an all-time temperature record in terms of the central England temperature for this February. Still above average. That's still a relatively mild minimum average, 2.8 for February. But the deviation isn't as large as we see, particularly for the maximum. Maximum CET temperature average. So anyway, we'll find out where we come out with the CET at the end of the week, and we'll keep you updated on that. This is how the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles are looking. We're looking at Burnley today, another suggested location for this section of the video. So the red line, of course, is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Burnley. That's where we are right now. So you see we are running out of time for this remarkable heat wave. It looks like we're just going to keep the temperature at that level for the rest of today, just about holding on into tomorrow for a while anyway, but really from tomorrow onwards the temperatures are on a downwards trend, on a downwards spiral. It's a gradual process, but by the time we get through to the weekend and into next week, the temperatures, the upper air temperatures are back to average, and that's going to be a lot cooler compared to what we've been used to. And then as we go through into the second week of February and run up to the middle of the month, it basically looks like we're going to be below average, or average to slightly below average, let's say. Nothing desperately cold, apparent, but certainly going to be a real change as we get through to the end of the week and next weekend, with these temperatures lowering a lot from the remarkable levels that we've been at for the past few days, and becoming more unsettled too. So plenty of dry weather carrying us through to the weekend, but from the weekend into next week, back come the rainfall spikes. So they are large rainfall spikes as well, so it is going to be turning a lot more unsettled. Showers or longer spells of rain coming up from the weekend and into next week, and becoming significantly cooler as well. Temperature anomalies in the weekend from the 26th of February to 6th of March still coming out milder than average. I'm still expecting those to lower as the week goes on. Precipitation anomalies, England and Wales looking a bit wetter than average. Scotland and Northern England, possibly Northern Ireland, still looking a little bit drier than average. I'm expecting these to continue to trend wetter in the week ahead. Cooler and wetter should be the trend in the week ahead. If you want to know where winter is, there it is. It's across the United States again. So look how much colder than average it is through those Midwestern states and going up towards central parts of Canada. We're talking, I think this is for Fahrenheit, so we're talking about temperatures around 20 Fahrenheit below average in terms of the temperature anomaly. The Pacific Northwest also looking really quite cold. These southern states, southwestern states, look a bit milder, and also looks milder in the far southeast. It's getting colder in the northeast of America as well, though. So it looks like these severely cold temperatures in the Midwest are progressing over towards the northeastern side of the states as we're moving into the early part of March. But that's where it is. That's where it's where winter's gone over to Canada and North America. That happens quite a lot, of course. Precipitation anomalies from the 26th of February to the 6th of March in America. Generally, most states are looking pretty dry. Coming back to the UK then, this is the situation on Friday. So on Friday, the high pressure is still ridging in across the country, but obviously it is weakening a lot compared to what we've had recently. And as going to Saturday, that's when low pressure properly breaks through. We start to bring showers along with spells of rain in from off the Atlantic. And we're not very unsettled as we move into the early part of next week. This is Monday, 4th of March. Low pressure's right over the top of the country, 980 millibars. There's showers along with spells of rain and quite strong winds too. Also beginning to turn quite a bit colder in the north as well. We're digging some cold air into the north, so might see the rain turn a little bit wintry perhaps over northern hills. That's Tuesday to Wednesday, just trying to build up a little bit of a ridge from the southwest. It looks very transient, that, and going to the middle of next week, low pressure is back in across the country, bringing more showers along with spells of rain. That's day 10, Friday 8th of March, and it looks very unsettled with low pressure well and truly in control. In the extended range stays unsettled. Low pressure continues to be driving in from off the Atlantic Ocean. That's how we finish up with the operational GFS run on the 14th of March. Still under low pressure, still looking really unsettled. GFS parallel run, again, the high pressure is just clinging on to the south at the end of this week, I should say, early into next weekend, or the weekend, it turns more unsettled. Low pressure heading in off the Atlantic, deep areas of low pressure too. Bit of a cold snap there early next week as that low pressure exits away to the east and turns wind into the north, only very briefly though, and the winds are back in from the west again. Go at today 10, looking very unsettled. Low pressure is well and truly in control. What a change on what we've had over the past couple of weeks. It's all low pressure in next week's weather, to be honest. And as we go beyond day 10 into extended range, we keep things looking very unsettled. Low pressure remains churning in from off the Atlantic Ocean. That's how we finish up on Thursday the 14th of March, and we are well and truly under low pressure still, so showers along the spells of rain, and it's having a go at raising some heights towards Greenland as well. So if we could run on another 24 hours or so, we would possibly start to turn the winds into the north there and bring some much colder air into the mix through the middle part of March perhaps. ECMWF, again, the ridge is just clinging on by its fingertips on Friday. But over the weekend, that's when it gets broken down properly as low pressure comes in off the Atlantic, bringing lots of unsettled weather. And these unsettled conditions then take us into next week with low pressure well and truly in command of the weather. Looks very unsettled up to day 10. So how things are looking at day 10. It's having a go at building a slight ridge to the south and southeast, but I think any ridge that tries to get going, its days are numbered because there's lots of low pressure in the Atlantic and it's all only going one way, which of course is going to be that way. So I suspect if we could roll on another day or so, we would find low pressure quickly racing in from off the Atlantic. These are how the ECM ensembles are looking today at day 10. All the options on the table within the ECM ensembles from the Icelandic Met Office, the postage stamps of the Icelandic Met Office. There actually aren't any options on the table other than these 51. So again, we've got 100, we had yesterday, 100% of ECM ensemble members at day 10, which is the 8th of March, just have this big area of low pressure, this big trough centred over and to the west of the UK. So all members of the ECM ensembles are very unsettled as we get to day 10, 8th of March. They all have the UK under low pressure. And then the options on the table in 2 weeks' time, which is the 13th of March. So we've got 22 members of the ECM ensembles with a deep area of low pressure over top of the UK. Jet streams and westerlies are coming through like that. Have got a bit of ridging up to the north, but overall it's at low pressure that's in control. Then there's number 16 that have again low pressure over the top of the country. And then there's 13, but just have the low pressure a little bit out to the northwest, perhaps hinting at raising some heights to our south-southeast. So those are trying to move the jet stream back northwards again, possibly turning things a bit drier further south. But basically, the ECM ensembles up to the middle of March are looking very unsettled. Finally, CFS V2, these are 500 millibar heights broken down into week periods. The first week period will take us from the 26th of February to the 4th of March with an area of above average heights over the UK. Low pressures out to the west, so we still remain for the week ahead with lots of high pressure, and it is quite dry and fairly warm too, albeit cooling down a bit. But week 2, big change. 5th to the 11th of March, low pressure is in from the Atlantic, and so is the jet stream. So much more unsettled there, cooler, wetter as we go from the 5th through to the 11th of March. We stay very unsettled into week 3. This is the 12th to the 18th of March. Low pressure continues to be over to the north of the country. Jet streams coming through like that. We are raising heights down across Spain and Portugal, but for this particular week, week 3, we are still unsettled. But then we get to week 4, and that those height rises across Spain and Portugal start to push northwards. So this brings back warm and dry weather in week 4 in the second half of March. This is the 19th to the 25th of March. This is classic spring. Low pressure is being pushed up to Greenland, and the jet stream's rising northwards as well. So the second half of March, again, there's a bit of a trend at the moment in the CFS V2. Second half of March, after an unsettled first half, turns us much drier and much warmer. Right, that's it for your videos for today. And as I say, this a remarkable spell of warm and dry weather is running out of road. It's running out of time. So if you enjoy your weather like this in the winter, then do make the most of the rest of today, and also probably tomorrow. I think tomorrow's not going to be too bad at all, but by Thursday and particularly by Friday, you will notice the temperatures lowering. And by the weekend, we are talking about bringing spells of rain in from off the Atlantic with temperatures back to what you'd expect them to be. So this remarkable, historic, record-breaking spell of very warm and dry weather is about to go. So just make the most of it if you enjoy it. Right, we'll be back tomorrow with 5-day forecast, and we'll also have a look at weather next week, 10 days. Again, tomorrow, of course, bring you up to date with any other temperature records that have been achieved. But that's all for now, and thanks for watching.